Go.
Okay, and welcome back to more Digimon Tabletop. It's been a while, but we're back in it. Today's game is another in the Surveyors of the Digital World series. So let's recap what goes on in these sorts of missions. The five of you and your Digimon partners are members of the Digital World Surveyance Corp, a publicly funded but slightly under the hood group that's used to explore the newly discovered digital world, map it out, discover what's out there, make contact with the locals, just get an idea of what the world is like, what's there, and what can be made use of. Today, the five of you are heading into the Solid State Glacier, a region of the digital world known for extreme cold signals, so all of you are appropriately dressed for that, even if your icons may not show that. If your Digimon require little beanies or scarves, please go ahead and let us know that.
Yeah, my Digimon partner, my human's Digimon partner, rather, absolutely, definitely does require.
Okay, so before you guys appear inside the Solid State Glacier, let's go over what you're doing here. There are three big goals to accomplish in entering the Solid State Glacier. First, explore the area. With all the digital tech involved in bringing you guys here, tracking your movements, and so on and so forth, the map gets filled out just by there and matching up against other scanning systems. So it's kind of video gaming in a while. Explore the map and the map fills out. There you go. Secondly, you've got to record dangers. The digital world is a dangerous place, and not anyone can just wander in without information. You guys with your Digimon partners are special, but those who'll be following after, they don't have the same defenses, so they need to know what's where so they can be as safe as can be. So the information you're going to be gathering and then reporting on after this, it's really important, so be careful about that. Third, if you can, make contact with peaceful factions. The digital world is a hostile place, but it doesn't mean everyone's hostile. There's lots of nice Digimon out there you can make friends with. So if you can establish good communications and good relationships, that's really valuable. So with those three things as your overarching goals, the five of you and your Digimon partners appear inside the Solid State Glacier. And how easily can I turn off this fog of war? That easily. Boop.
Whoa!
As a group, you appear at close to the edge of a cliff, looking out over wide plains. Distant mountains tower in the distance, capped with ice, as over in the sky, aurora with barcode designs flitter by. There's a chillness to the air, but the wind is not yet howling, something that's to be thankful for. There's a bright sun overhead, the light reflecting off the snow, extremely strong. I'm sure, as Digimon partners, most of you probably have goggles of some form. And Yep. And here you are, looking out over the Solid State Glacier. In the distance, a plume of snow races into the air as one of the mountains begins to shake and collapse. Welcome to the Solid State Glacier. What will you do? Well, to start with, let's do introductions. Let's go player by player and partner by partner. Andy, why don't you tell us about your human?
My human? Okay, so my guy is Derek, because apparently when I need to come up with a name on the spot, I really go with D names.
Let's see how the size is so I can start moving tokens in and giving you all access.
But yeah, he used to be kind of like a survivalist kind of dude, like kind of like Bear Grylls-ish, but like without the whole military training part. He's just a guy who's good at surviving.
There's Derek.
But part of the reason he's good at surviving is because he just is very good at getting away from trouble when it happens. Because the number one key to survival is to just not die. But yeah, that's him. I honestly have no idea how long he's been with the stuff. I didn't think too much about that part, but he's in it now, and that's what really matters.
All right. Derek has a Digimon partner, as you all do, and this Digimon partner is played by someone other than Andy, as we like to do in this setting. So, Hannah, why don't you tell us about who you're bringing to the...
All right. Okay. So, this is Galmon, sorry. And they're a slightly overconfident, very fighty type of Digimon. They're always looking for stronger opponents. They're not very smart. They'll often take on challenges that are far too big for it. But they do have one really good, like they're perceptive only during fights. They use their sharp eyes and ears to try and like outwit their opponents, but most of the time they're just kind of stupid and looking for a fight. They do their best.
They're
though.
so valid.
That takes me all the way back to the first Surveyors.
Listen, it's a valid character type.
All right, Hannah, you're human then.
All right, this is my human, and Tess will actually recognize this. This is Chiyoko Tatsunori, and she's here to have a good time. She's hold on, I have a character thing that I wrote up. She's a young noblewoman who was raised in isolation, and she's finally been able to get out into the world. And a lot of people think that she was just kind of like her spot on this team was given to her, but she actually studied very, very hard to get on here. She's very determined, very graceful and elegant, but also she has a sword and she will use it if she has to.
Love that.
That's my girl.
Yeah. All right.
All right. Maddie, can you tell us about the partner to Chiyoko?
Yep. So our rookie form here is a Salamon. His name is Clive. He's really
Oh. Oh.
I fucking clapped.
he's a very nice boy. He goes by Clive. The reason he goes by a name rather than what he is as a Digimon is that he's really, really fascinated with humans and what they do and how they operate. So the first thing he wanted was to have like a more human name. And he likes how Clive sounds. So that's him. He sort of prides himself as kind of like an explorer of not only the digital world but the human world. He likes to learn, and he is a decent tactician, but is prone to freezing up if he's alone.
Oh, I love him.
He does his best.
So I just want to confirm one thing because I'm always bad about visualizing this. Compared to like an adult human, how big are both of these?
Clive is the size of a small cat.
Okay. Oh, Choco's gonna carry him around the whole time.
He will get squirmy, but yeah.
I think Galmon's probably like dog sized, but just bipedal.
Okay, so probably comes up to like a waist or so.
Yeah.
Maybe a little taller. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just like to. It's hard for me to visualize sometimes, and
yeah, no, that's super fair.
All right, Maddie, and you're human.
Okay. I don't have a drawing yet, so the image is going to be very entertaining. Enjoy. My human's name is Eleanor.
Oh my god.
You have a grandma?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Eleanor is 72 years old. She is a retired kindergarten teacher.
Oh my god.
She is your overbearing, the team's overbearing grandma. She spent she spent like 35 years as an elementary school teacher, so she's really good at dealing with people, and she values education and exploration. She's also extremely stubborn. She's not exactly the pinnacle of physical strength, but she's makes up for it by having excellent conflict resolution skills, although she can be extremely nosy, and she is relatively new to the Surveyors. But you all know by now that when she starts talking, she's not going to stop at all. Having said that, you all own more scarves and mittens than you used to.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Yes.
bless.
Fantastic.
I like the
And
Chuck
partnered
Taylors.
to Eleanor is Tess.
Yes. So I'm playing Eleanor's Digimon, who is Bakuman.
Oh.
Cute little Bakuman.
Oh.
Like, in terms of personality, he kind of sees himself as like a tough guy. You know, even when he's like cute little Bakuman. So he's always he's kind of, you know, a bit rowdy, loud, trying to like show off, I guess. But he does have Eleanor as his partner, so she will baby him constantly, and he'll get very embarrassed.
He has ear cozies. I just want to make it clear that he wears ear cozies.
Oh.
Fantastic. All right, and your human, Tess?
Yes, my human. So this is Stella. I'm very glad he gave us all coats and stuff because she desperately needs it. Yeah, she looks pretty tough. She like works out and stuff, and yeah, but she's like actually pretty like mellow. I guess she's kind of a teddy bear. She's not. Yeah, she doesn't really actually know how to socialize with people her age very well. It's fine. She's fine.
All right. Partnered to Stella is Bridget.
It's me.
It's just Bridget.
Just Bridget.
It's me, Bridgetmon. I'm playing Bergamon. Bergamon's he's very shy and quiet. He really looks up to Stella, and he's got sort of despite being very tiny and frankly frail, he has a strong nurturing instinct, so he's always cooking everybody food. And it's all really good, but he likes spicy food the most, so that's kind of his deal. He's just a good boy. He's just doing his best.
Yeah, I should have mentioned Stella's good with kids, not so much with adults.
Yeah, so they get along.
That's kind
well.
of her deal.
It's so cute.
So when he's in his rookie form, they get along very well.
Just so you all know, if you click on an icon and press Z, you should be able to see it all on your own. So you don't just need me to show it to everyone.
Right, but we can only click on ones that we can control.
Oh, is that
Yeah.
so?
Yeah.
Okay. fair
Yeah,
enough.
it only works on ones we can control.
Roll 20, folks. All right,
Yeah.
Bridget, your human is.
Okay. My human is Zen.
Ooh.
Let me find. I wrote a short backstory.
Oh, I like
I
this
love
one.
that. I love that.
So none of you guys have ever, despite maybe working with Zen for a little while, none of you have ever seen her face or heard her real voice. She always wears the mask and always has a vocal distortion in it. It has LEDs in like the eyes and behind the teeth, so she can do fun things with it, but not very frequently. Zen, whether your characters know of her or not, she's a sort of an anacro hacker, or kind of an eco-terrorist,
Oh boy.
dedicated to taking down Bitcoin. She used to do like a lot of FaceTime hacks. She had kind of like a small cult following on the internet. But she was picked up in a raid and caught into like an Interpol sting operation. But because of various reasons, she ends up being noticed and headhunted by the Survey Corps. She's a brilliant hacker, but has absolutely no social skills. So she's a little curt. But she's very interested in the digital world and all that. She has a big, it's not in this picture, but she has a big, like, high-tech ankle monitor, so she's very much under house arrest. It's very likely that you guys jumping into the digital world would have, like, seen her with a handler or something like that. But yeah, that's Zen.
All right, and partnered with Zen is Andy.
Yeah, this one's Inumon. He's a chumby boy.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
And I do, part of the reason I wanted to double check is despite being very much puppy proportions, he is like above the waist. So he's like Saint Bernard sized, but that he's a thick boy.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
It's like having a living log on your team. But yeah, he's Zen's helper dog, puppy friend.
Zen loves him very much.
Also, here's
Aw.
what Taurus said to Link when he came up.
Oh my god.
Absolutely fantastic. Okay, so with that, the 10 of you have arrived in the Solid State Glacier. You are pretty high up on a mountain at the moment, a flat stretch of land looking out over the plains below, and the world's yours. Let's move from this starting view to the first leg of the overworld. And here we go. Looking behind you, the mountain towers up, and it's very inhospitable terrain. Sure, you can try and go that way. It doesn't seem like the easiest direction to go. If anything, working your way down the mountain would be the best logical start, but that's up to you guys to decide what you want to do. So you should each have control of your icons, so go right ahead. What will you do? Tell me.
Is everybody warm enough? I have some extra mittens if anybody forgot. Happens to the best of us, I know. Everyone all right?
Oh, no worries, ma'am. Thank you so much, though. I've got mine right here.
Stella would love
Excellent.
some extra mittens, but she doesn't want to say anything.
Can I, like, roll perception to see if Eleanor notices that Stella needs mittens?
Well, you can definitely roll something to get a grip on how the team is doing. Is it perception specifically? Try to decide if it's perception or decipher intent, really.
They both make sense.
I think it would be
What's it say?
perception.
Decipher intent is yeah, okay, perception. Fair enough.
So what is it? Is it is it a willpower and or intelligence, or so like what's the attribute that goes with perception?
It's willpower.
Okay, so yeah,
So you roll willpower plus your perception.
that's a healthy +9. So yeah,
3d6 plus 9.
6, 9. Oh wow. Well, okay.
What a strong start.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Get
I
that
think
roll out of the way.
Eleanor, as usual, is more thinking about what she thinks everyone's thinking than looking at what they're thinking, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe she gets her cane jammed in the snow for a second and has to pull it out and not really super paying attention.
Zen just throws out and kind of like makes grabby hands just in the air, but doesn't say anything.
Wait, hold on. You cut out a little bit there. What was
Oh,
that?
sure. Zen puts her arms out and makes grabby hands, but doesn't say anything.
Eleanor sort of like makes her way over and says, I've got some ones with stripes, and I've got this lovely pair of green ones. Do you have a preference? And she holds them both out.
Do either of them have fingers, or are they mittens?
They're one of them. The stripy ones are red and white like candy canes, and those ones are mitts. And then the green ones have fingers.
She takes the one with fingers.
Right. You can keep them, dearie. I have so many kicking around at home. And she kind of goes. Away.
Zen nods, and her mask makes like the eyes make a winking emoji.
I love it.
Gaomon is like running in circles to keep warm and like keep his energy up. He's just running in
little footprints in the snow.
Yeah. He's got
Come on,
mittens
your
on
feet
already.
aren't gonna get cold like that. Aren't you cold, sweetheart?
Nope, I've never been cold in my life. Don't even know what the word means.
Well, all right then.
Meanwhile, Chioko's gonna try and like take a look around and see if she can see anything interesting from up here.
Clive is Clive in her arms?
Yeah.
Okay. Clive's looking around. Says, "Could I get a slightly higher vantage point, please?"
Oh yes, of course. She's gonna like hold him up over her head.
Like Lion King style?
Yes.
All right. Clive sees nothing wrong with the situation. Goes, yes, perfect.
All right. What would I roll to get a better look around?
Well, it's one of two things. Either you're just looking around for anything you see, or looking specifically for things that are interesting or useful. So it's either going to be perception or survival, depending on what you want to get back from that.
Which one's for perception?
Perception is willpower, and survival is intelligence.
Yeah, okay, we're gonna go with perception.
All right.
Which is a lovely combination of... Alright, that'll be 3d6 plus 10. Oh!
There you go.
Ooh.
That's a 20. All right. So looking around from this flat platform, flattish outcrop, you see there's not so much actual cut path or anything, but a shallow enough descent starting a bit further back, closer to the mountainside, that will lead pretty firmly down to where the plains are below. Following that and looking out, you get a better look through the clear air and see that there's some Digimon already out in the plains, pretty far away from here. There's nothing immediately close to the mountain, but there are some large mammoth-like Digimon that are just in a herd trudging along the plains in the far distance. So there's definitely Digimon out, and also thinking, that's a long way. They're still pretty big. Those are pretty big Digimon.
Yeah. Chioko's just gonna be like, hey, over here. You can see some Digimon in the distance. I'm not sure what they are, but they're rather large.
Can Clive, being kind of an explorer, can he tell what kind of Digimon they are?
Clive's base. In all basic stats. Not so sure has Clive been in sort of heavy snow environments before? Because I think you'd have to have been to this sort of place before to have a good idea of these ones.
I'm gonna say no on that one.
Just
He's
looking
just
at them, Clive gets a sense, these pretty strong and solidly built into the environment Digimon, but not specifically what they are.
It seems likely that these Digimon are native to the area. I am not familiar with their species personally. They look like they are strong and well-built for their climate. They don't seem hostile, but they haven't noticed us yet, so I don't know if that's going to continue to be true.
All right, we ought to try and keep out of their sight, just in case. Thank you very much for the report, Clive.
Always doing my best.
You're so cute, I'm gonna cry.
Love that.
I think Bergamon is starting to try and make some hot buns for everybody.
I love him.
Eleanor's gonna hobble over and stick her nose into it as usual. Bergamon, sweetheart, that's such a wonderful idea. Do you need any assistance?
Well, if you'd like to take the done ones, and he starts giving you a tray, and I don't know how this kind of appears, but he has like a little griddle that shows up. I
Little
guess.
cooking setup.
It's just in hammer space. He just pulls it out of hammer space.
Yeah, and he
Digimon
just starts.
do that.
He just starts placing hot buns on the tray, and it's like an inordinate amount. It's like way more than you need, and he's just very focused on doing that.
It is pretty cold though, so it's a struggle to keep enough heat going on.
Eleanor's like trying her best to cover them up and be like, "Quick, everyone, or they'll get cold."
Calmon's gonna grab Derek by the hand and just be like, "Come on, there's food. Let's go."
Here you are.
Derek
Eat them quickly before they get cold.
Oh, thank you.
Inumon's literally gonna walk up and in the same way that Zen did, like the grabby hands thing, just kind of open his mouth like.
Without missing a beat.
Yeah.
Without a beat, Eleanor just puts one in his mouth. Don't forget to chew, sweetie. It's very important that for your digestion.
It's already gone.
Oh. Bakuman, dear.
He does just like immediately grab one of them, but at the same time he's just been kind of whining this whole time, like, oh, why do you have all these mittens? We don't need so many mittens. Why?
Well, when your cute little ears get frostbitten, don't come crying to me. And then she puts ear warmers on them.
Fine.
They look like, here, I need to give you like an idea of what these, like, it's essentially the equivalent. Have you ever seen the fly covers for horses?
Yes.
They basically look like that, but they're
Whoa.
they're knit. They're made of wool. Hold on, I gotta get. Here we go. Get
Inumon
that.
just walks
sweet...
back over towards Zen because of his tube shape. He kind of just like, it looks like someone was dragging a sled through the snow wherever he walks.
I love that.
Well, he has stubby little legs.
I think Zen sees this and takes out her hacking set, like her mobile hacking setup. And is it possible for me to for Zen to change the code of like some of the physical material and make a pair of snowshoes for her Digimon? Or is that too like?
I think it's more likely that sort of equipment would have already been set up with you before heading in. You guys were put into a location that wasn't well understood, but the fact it was very cold and very snowing, very frosted over, was known. So any clothing or anything you would have needed beforehand, you would have got.
Sure. No, Zen just kind of leans up against her Digimon and pulls out her equipment and starts scanning the area, just trying to get a read on, very kind of, very much just getting the information about the lay of the land. Just maybe not necessarily useful data, but very meticulously cataloging everything.
All right.
Here's another picture of Chiyoko. I've got so much art of her.
I think if you're using your computer specifically to do some scanning, you're still going to be making a perception check, but I'll let you make that using your int score instead of your willpower.
Ooh, okay.
So that's int plus perception.
Let me remember how to do anything.
Is it slash?
So, yeah,
slash roll or slash R.
I'm just looking to perception. Okay.
It's kind of like this, but you put a slash in front and change the X.
Okay.
There you go. It's 22. Zen, how much experience has Zen had being in the digital world and checking in, scanning the environment using her tech? It works.
I think this isn't the first time, but I kind of see her as being a more recent addition to the team.
Not her first rodeo, but maybe her third.
Yeah.
All right. Checking in, Zen looks for anything that stands out that's less perceptible to the eyes. The digital world goes beyond just the visual, obviously, and there's often things strange beneath the surface. immediately there's a bit of a shaking waveform that comes up in monitoring, and even though you guys don't feel it specifically, Zen is able to tell there's a lot of distant seismic activity in the area. Not within sight or anything, but I mean, as soon as you got in here and looked out over the frost, you also saw a mountain in the far distance collapse, so...
Okay. Zen doesn't share this information necessarily, but is logging it.
All right, who else has something to do?
Derek's just gonna... Well, first off, Derek does grab, like, 3 of the meat buns and just, like, shovels them down real quick. Because, you know, you don't
You'll
turn
get
down...
indigestion!
I'd rather have indigestion than have no food later.
Fair enough.
By the
And,
time you've gotten to the maybe last of everyone going through them, there's already, like, not specifically cold, but they're not piping hot either.
That's fine.
It's kind of warm.
He's gonna take a look around to see if, like, can he, like, look around for tracks or whatever to see if any, like, Digimon come through here very, like, cause, like, obviously, tracks like, Inumon's leaving would be a little more obvious, but, like, old tracks or something.
Alright, give us a survival check.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good at those. Let's see, so it's survival plus intelligence, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Can you hear my cat?
I did hear Bailey, yes.
Hi, Bailey.
Let's see, intelligence, survival, boop.
There you go, it's a 21. Solid numbers all around. Okay, so immediately it's like, oh, there's a lot of tracks already because Galmon's been running in circles and Inumon's just trailing through the ground here and there. But you take a walk around and look out. There's not really much sign at all of presence. The snow is mostly pristine from before you got there. But closer to the mountain, you spot a slight rock outhanging, and you look inside and you see that there's some snow that's packed in a way as if something was sleeping on top of it, but not as in like a few minutes or hours ago, like a week ago or something. There was something sleeping here. Not too big, but something got out, and because it's underneath the overhang, the snow hasn't been covered up, and you see like 1 or 2 footsteps leading out from the overhang, and then the snow is solid there, so you can't track it any further than that.
Okay.
So you get the feeling something has nested up here and slept, but it's left, and not a lot of things come by here.
If nothing else, it's been away long enough that hopefully it's either not coming back or it's gone for a while. Okay. Well, if there's not up here, we guess we should probably start making our way down the mountain, right?
Sounds good.
All right, who's going to take point on making the way down the mountain?
Yeah, I will. The sooner
All
I
right,
see stuff, the better it is.
So going forward and
I assume that's
forging the
fine.
path and watching out for those following after, go ahead and do another survival check.
Okay.
And also line up the order you guys are going. So starting from Derek around here, just line up the order,
right
people
there.
moving in.
He's gonna, like, wave to Galmon, like, come on this way.
All right, let's go. He just like dashes through everybody, like weaving around them. He doesn't like bowl anyone over.
Clive's gonna look up at Chiyoko and say,
Perhaps we should take the rear just to make sure to keep an eye on what's behind us and make sure nobody falls behind.
That sounds good.
And she'll call out to the others. Clive and I will be following last.
Okay, be careful, sweetheart.
I will. Thank you, ma'am.
No need to be so formal.
Come on, Bakuman dear, don't fall behind now.
All right. He says, even though he clearly wants to be out the front. Stella's just kind of awkwardly shuffling along in the middle of the group. She's just
Bergamon's definitely following.
slowly nibbling on one of these buns.
Inumon
So
just gonna
Zen
follow Zen.
after Stella then?
What does the terrain look like? Is it rocky, or is there any kind of smooth slopes?
The specific path Derek's heading down, which Chioko spotted and pointed out before as well, is a pretty shallow gradient. There's a lot of steep cliffs around here, but this one's shallowish. The snow is pretty heavy at the moment, so when you step into it, you sink ankle calfish unless you're able to get a couple of stones along. So beneath the layer of snow, there's definitely uneven stone, but the snow evens it out a bit more.
Okay. Zen has a thought in her brain of riding down with her Digimon like a sled, but maybe it's not going to do that. Maybe not actually the best idea.
Eleanor has her cane out and is sort of tapping the ground in front of her, trying to find where is the deepest part and sort of avoiding it.
Probably best not to ride anyone down if you're fourth in the row.
Yeah.
That sounds
You
like
might
a
collect
challenge.
A few people in front of you.
Just bowl everyone over. It's fine.
Alright. Derek, taking the lead, starts guiding people down the path. It's not the steepest, but the snow and the rock beneath it's a little bit uneven. So stepping from point to point, it slows you down as you're figuring out the right steps to take, and people are following behind in the footsteps you specifically make. So you're very much setting the path for everyone. It's about halfway down, though, that the path steepens quite a bit more. Not so much we shouldn't go down here, but much more, okay, take it slow, take it careful, take it easy. And you're focusing on how you can get down it the most at first, that the path you lead isn't super the easiest to follow for those not as adept at survival. So let's check survival. Pass a quick judgment here. I was going to say everyone with 0 survival, so that is Zen, Chioko, and Stella each. Let's do a athletics roll for each of you to keep things going when you start to slip a little, because the trail is a little harder than you thought. Eleanor with that cane is specifically forging her own path and keeping at it.
She's prepared.
Is
That would be-
athletics... Oops, sorry.
Is that
Athletics
agility?
is... No, it's body plus athletics.
Oh.
Stella has a lovely plus 12, so...
Yeah. I think body especially in this case, because you're trying to keep good footing and self-steady in the environment.
Uh-oh, guys.
Oh.
Chioko, she's just a stick of a person.
Okay, Stella, you're keeping yourself together, but you're not prepared for both behind you to lose their footing and start sliding down the steep, snowy slope. So Zen and Chioko are starting to slide and fall down the path. What are the other three of you and your Digimon trying to do to stop that?
I feel like Clive is maybe clamped into Chioko's arms and can't do anything about it.
That tracks.
Chioko, you gotta angle yourself. Oh God!
Oh my gosh! Sorry, pardon me. Coming through.
Can Stella grab one of them on the way down and stop them from rolling further down?
All right. There isn't exactly a skill for reach out and grab someone. Because it's like there's body elements of stopping people from sliding, but there's also agility elements of making the right catch. Let's do a mix of that. Do a body plus dodge.
Body plus dodge. Okay. So that's what's my dodge? Okay, that's still a pretty good.
That's
Yeah,
solid.
she's
That's a
fine.
23. Yeah, okay. So Stella, while she was kind of taking it slow and being careful as well with the steep, snowy steps, who did you grab for?
God, I don't know who.
I'm gonna say Inumon's gonna try and grab for Zen by like chomping onto like the back of the coat. So maybe the person holding a Digimon.
Yeah, that's probably. Yeah. She probably reaches for Chiyoko.
Alright.
All right.
You reach out and grab Chiyoko and pull her back as she starts going by you. It does throw you off your feet and you fall backwards, but you just land in the snow. You don't start sliding from where you both hit the ground on your back.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. I thought we were going to tumble down the mountain at this rate.
It's fine.
Are you
Okay.
okay, Chiyoko? You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. How are you?
I'm fine. All good here.
So what kind of roll does
excellent.
Inumon need to make to grab onto Zen with his big
So Digimon
dog
skill
face,
checks are made using the spec stats, unless they're trained in skills.
which are
So
all
would be
1 at rookie level.
Yeah.
pretty much.
So it'd be 3d6 plus 1, but if you're using like Digger to try and work with the snow, I'll lower the challenge rating on that a bit.
Yeah, he's definitely gonna like dig into the snow when he like.
Yeah.
Also, he literally has a bite attack that's made to immobilize, so that probably helps too. I mean, it's an
Not
attack normally, but
I mean, does it deal damage?
normally. But he's aiming for the coat.
No, give us a 3d6 plus 1.
Chomp.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty solid roll. Like 13 is above average for a 3d6, well above. Okay, yeah, Inumon, there's a bit of a drag down the cliff. Zen probably doesn't weigh that much, I imagine.
Nah, she's pretty tiny.
Yeah, I wasn't putting a whole lot of muscle mass on Zen. So Inumon, who, as we've established, is a chonky boy, manages to grab Zen by the coat, and Zen still ends up on her butt in the snow, but not sliding any further down the path.
All right. She kind of like reaches up and, while still in Inumon's dog carry, and pats him on the face.
And now the back of her jacket is gonna have frozen dog slobber.
Delicious.
Alright. That's probably the worst part of the descent. The path, it stays steep for a while, then evens out a bit again, and heading down, like, you were started on a mountain, and it takes a while to descend, but also you know that, like, you're not at sea level or anything, you're just on high plains above sea level now, but you're on a large, flat stretch of land. So it'd move you guys down to more round here-ish. That stretches out pretty far in most directions. There's mountains to the east and to the north. To the west and south, the plains stretch further, and in the far distance, still around here, you see some large, thick mammoth-like Digimon that are just heading along, plodding along in their own way.
They seem friendly. How about we go talk to them? Come,
they?
Bakuman. Maybe you'll get along. Where are they at? She's going.
Okay. It's
Miss Eleanor, please wait up.
Back. Stop.
so it's
Little
not like
X's.
It's not like you can call out and then run over to them. They're like a solid distance away over the ice. So it'd still take walking time 10, 15, 20 minutes maybe. And that's like judging just by a distance. Maybe the ice is going to be trickier to get there. And also they're moving as well, so...
Bakuman, dear, how about you float over and say hi?
Galmon's just like, those guys look really strong. We should definitely go over there. Come on, come on.
I like his spirit. I like their spirit. Good spirit.
Thank you,
Bakuman.
ma'am.
Bakuman, maybe you could float over?
I mean, I didn't give him floating ability. But...
Oh, because I thought he floated. Does not float.
Nope,
I think
got-
Pokemon has light floating, but not really flight specifically.
Yeah. Oh, I guess that might be tiring for you. Are your ears all right, sweetheart?
They're fine. My ears are fine. Stop.
Okay. Just checking.
So I just want to double check one thing, Taurus.
Yep.
Our mission is just to map stuff this time, right? Like at least as of yet, this is not one of those ones where it's like there is specifically a thing that we need to go like.
Yeah,
Okay.
the thing is, you don't specifically know what any specific thing is, and that's part of why you're here, to find out what the specific things are that maybe can be explored in future as well.
I just wanted to make sure it
This
wasn't.
is the first pass to like figure out what's actually in this map.
I just
What's
wanted
out?
to make sure it wasn't like a hey mystery castle because I didn't think you said something about that, but I was like I should make sure that I didn't miss something super obvious early.
I'm sure someone back at home base is like, God, I hope there's a mystery castle, but we don't know that yet.
Can Eleanor have like a tourist looking camera and start snapping pictures?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Her gloves are knitted so that like they're like mittens, but she can pull like the top part off and they're fingerless gloves underneath, and she like sort of fumbles around all of her pockets. She's like, where's my camera? Which pocket did I leave it in? Oh, this jacket has so many pockets.
All pictures
and so
taken in the digital world are private, secure details under ownership of the Surveyance Corp.
Yeah, she's gonna make them look artsy and pretty anyway. She has a lot of like she's supposed to be documenting like the digital world. There's a lot of pictures of Bakuman.
Chioko's
Like-
got a camera as well, but it's
Lots of
surprisingly old-fashioned as well. Like you'd expect Eleanor to have an old camera, of course, but Chioko has a very old-looking one as well.
Got to be hip with the times.
God.
Yes, of course.
And she's snapping pictures, and like half of them are like pictures of the landscape,
Mhm.
and then the other half are like candids of the Digimon. There's probably a really blurry picture of Gaomon, who is like the group's like photo cryptid. Never still long enough.
He's never still long enough for.
I love that.
Listen, we can't prove that Galmon's just not blurry.
Like he's he's constantly doing like fighting game idle animation.
Oh.
He just doesn't stay still.
That's excellent. Okay, so spirits high. You've made it down to the mountain, from the mountain to the plains. What's the next port of call? Which direction do you want to go? What do you want to see?
I think we should go say hi to those nice-looking Digimon.
I mean, our job
Oh,
was to
that's so
check
far
out the local
away.
wildlife as well.
That
So I
actually
don't.
tells me you have an excuse now for not hearing.
So could you repeat that, please?
I think we should go say hi to those nice Digimon. What do you think, Bakuman?
They're so far away.
Oh, come on now.
I mean, our job was to also make a report on the local wildlife and make sure they're not dangerous to anyone who would come and exploring after us. So I don't see a problem.
Yes, I would be in agreement.
All right. Let's go.
Let's mosey.
All right, heading across the plains in the direction of the large mammoth-like Digimon. How about whoever's looking enough to keep their attention on their environment, roll a perception check.
Okay.
Like if you're just going and just like enjoying yourself, sure. But if you're actually looking out for things, do some
If I'm still
Right.
using my hacking equipment to kind of do scans, can I use the same sort of use intelligence roll?
Yeah, but you'll be getting different results to everyone else, and that you'll be picking
Yeah.
up on different things other people would be.
That's fine. That's good.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna roll perception to keep my eyes open.
All right. It's an 18 from Shioko. That's a 19 from Zen.
I think Clive would also be trying to look for something from his vantage point.
All right. That's just a 3d6 plus 1 for Clive.
All right.
He's doing his best.
Is anyone else looking out for anything?
Derek's mostly just looking to make sure there's no, nothing coming up behind them or anything.
Yeah.
Tried, Clive. Good idea. Good try, Clive. Clive is distracted by how nice Chiyoko smells and snuggles a little closer.
That's adorable.
All right. Shoko, specifically, you guys are heading towards this large pack of mammoths. But as you go and you're looking out, especially with how flat the plains are, from here, you're getting the eyes on Digimon sightings about. None specifically close to you, and you're not actually difficult in that if any of them are seeing you or acknowledging you, they're not approaching you anyway. There's like a circle around you where there's not much going on, but also you are seeing some other Digimon. Smaller ones, bipedal things that have maybe goat or moose-like properties that you're seeing going along in herds, in distances. And to the north, and maybe the closest one you've seen so far, you see this small little biped, furry dinosaur-like Digimon dig up out of the snow and then just start heading north, just pat, 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 pat over the snow. Zen, checking out for signals, you're working with the lay of the land in the initial overscans of the Solid State Glacier. You know that in the direction you're heading, roughly, it's in a far distance, but the plains are going to keep sloping down, and they're eventually going to get to what looked like frozen water, like a large open sea. The northern reach is just continuing mountains, some really deep or barely defined paths leading up into them. South, it goes snowfields further and further. Southeast, it goes down to the water. The tremors, which you picked up at the start and have just been keeping an eye on, are intermittent, but they're still constant. And yeah, that's what stands out to you the most. You've got a general lay of what's far in each direction, and these tremors in the distance. They're not repetitive in the way any sort of natural event should be. There's something artificial behind them well, not artificial, but like inconsistent behind them.
Okay, like I can't discern any kind of like pattern or anything like that. Okay.
And that's just the general thing you've picked up.
Sure. Again, I don't know if Zen doesn't probably relay most like this information. She might click her voice modulator on to like indicate about what's further down, like the water in particular. But other than that, she's just keeping an eye on it.
All right. Choco, do you point out any of what you're seeing to the others, or do you
Yeah, especially the little Digimon that like crawled up out of the ground.
Yeah.
Stella's just kind of like, oh, can we talk to that guy instead, maybe, instead of the big group?
Sure. I suppose we could see if we can get any idea from him.
Yeah, Eleanor's just gonna march right over to them.
God bless Grandma.
She's
right.
sort of waving. She says, "Hello."
It's still a bit of a distance
Bakuman's got to
away.
follow to make sure she doesn't like trip over in
Not
the
so
sand.
far to be out of earshot. So make a persuade check to get this thing to pick up on you guys and be willing to stop and chat.
All right, so persuade is going to be, I guess, charisma and persuade.
Yep.
All right, it's a nice healthy 10. Wait, hold on. Yes, it's a nice healthy 10.
Oh, Chiyoko and Eleanor have such similar stat builds. I'm so glad.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
She strides
so,
over with a bright smile and waves. Hello.
You were striding in the opposite direction. It was to the
Oh.
north.
It went north.
Hello.
We'll turn it and reverse it.
You call out, and your voice does echo through the cold but clear air.
Shit.
There's no snow or frost fall at all. And the small purplish Digimon stops, raises its head, turns, and looks back. And it's standing still now and looking back at you guys.
Oh. How cute. Do you
It's-
think it's warm enough? Are you warm enough,
Fine.
sweetheart?
It lives here.
It's pretty solidly furred. It stands tall, not taller than any of you specifically, maybe, but like, I don't know, straight up to most people's necks, maybe like 4'9", 4'11"-ish. Taller than any of your Digimon.
Bakuman, why don't you go over there and introduce yourself?
Okay.
Don't forget to smile!
I know. Okay. So he kind of yells like, "Hey!" and then sort of plods over.
It straightens up its legs a little and pulls its arms in. You know that thing where some animals will just have their arms kind of like bent at the wrists up against their bodies, and it's standing up straight on its legs, so it's getting a like taller lookout over. Its tail stretches out a bit for balance, just looking and tilting its head from side to side, looking at all these interesting people.
Eleanor gives Bakuman a thumbs up.
Oh, whoops, I had myself muted. Chiyoko's gonna like start wandering over there because she's like, oh, guess we're gonna try and talk to this guy. She wants to see what's up.
All right, who's going forward? Who's holding back?
Eleanor's out there.
Zen's holding back and maybe like tries to focus her scanning equipment on this Digimon to get a read before interacting.
Inumon kind of gets between them and just like sniffs in the direction of the thing. I don't know.
I think your scanning equipment, definitely once you're close enough to something, you're able to get basic reads on it. You can probably tell its attribute, whether it's virus, vaccine, or data right away, just once you're close enough. You can tell this Digimon just checking it with your equipment. It's a data type Digimon, which doesn't mean the most, but generally virus type Digimon have the most natural aggression. That's not a hard and fast rule, but you know, if you play it as a stereotype, it's like it's not a virus type, so it's probably not the worst thing to approach. It's looking at curiosity most. Who's the one that starts talking to it first?
I guess Bakuman's already here. He kind of starts like he's introducing himself in front of the class, like, "Hi, I'm Bakuman."
You pretty much get that far before it quickly dashes in and starts jumping up at Bakuman, who's floating a little bit and sniffing loudly.
Oh, he's so friendly!
Okay. Hello?
You're new.
Yeah.
Smell cold.
It's fine. I'm fine. I don't need any more ear cozies. I'm fine.
Kind of like tilts over almost at the waist to look past Bakuman and sees Eleanor and just like bounds up and starts sniffing at her as well.
Oh, hello, dear. What is your name? I'm Eleanor.
I'm Dorumon.
Oh,
Hello, Dorumon.
It's just kind of circling around you now.
oh,
Where do you come from?
Well, we come from the human world.
What's a human?
It's me. I'm a
Wow.
human.
It nods its head like very rapidly up and down.
Oh, that's so cute.
Like a bobblehead.
Chioko's just like, oh, look at it.
Would you like to try some candy? And
As soon
she
as
pulls out a
Chioko raises her voice, its attention locks on her and just dives over and starts circling and sniffing at her as well. It's very,
Well,
very
it's-
curious.
Oh, hello.
What are you?
I'm a human as well. We come in all
Its head
sorts
just
of
kind of
shapes
like
and sizes.
whips between Eleanor and Chioko, and being able to pick up on Digimon expressions is something you get with talent. And this thing's like trying not to have its mind be blown right now.
Humans come in all shapes and sizes.
Clive's gonna smile and nod and say, "Yes, it's a little hard to get a hang on, but think of it this way: Digimon also come in all sorts of shapes and sizes. See?
It's so good.
It's taking a minute to get it, and like, Chioko introduced herself, right?
Yes.
Yeah. It looks at her for a while, and it goes, Chioko, and turns
Yes.
and looks at Eleanor and goes, Eleanor.
Yes,
And
that's
then
right.
it kind of like jumps up and bounces on the snow a bit.
Oh, it's so friendly."
What a lovely creature.
Have you been living here long, if you don't mind me asking?
It tilts its head as if it's trying to figure out what that question means. Like,
Jamie.
I'm always here.
Hey. Sorry, dog busted into my room. Jamie, get out of here. Go. I don't know
So
if
as
you can hear
Dorumon
her
said,
panting.
they're always here.
I see. Do you like it here?
Again, there's a bit of difficulty in figuring out what that question means specifically. Maybe the thought of having an opinion on this place or thinking about this place to another place specifically is difficult for it to get. Here's here.
Yeah, but it sure is. Are there
When
a
it
lot of other
focuses on one of you, its tail is waving back and forth, and the other one's kind of getting a little tail tickle to the face.
Why was the ground shaking earlier? Do you know?
No,
Does it happen a lot?
it started not long ago.
Oh, I see. That's interesting. Chioko, it's interesting, isn't it?
It is.
Should we tell Zen?
Yes, I believe so.
So Chioko's gonna
should
go over
mention-
there.
As you turn around and start heading to the others, Dorumon looks past you, sees this other group, and immediately, quickly passes by Chioko to go right up to the next closest person, who I imagine is Zen.
I should
Zen
mention,
passed up that angle.
Stella's kind of been probably standing up kind of behind Zen, just kind of like watching over her shoulder, almost as if she's trying to hide, which is probably not working very well because she's pretty big. But yeah, while this is happening, she's just sort of
Alright, well, this little furry dinosaur over the snow towards the two of you now.
Inumon's just stepping in between.
As Inumo comes in, it pulls up to a stop in the snow just before Inumon, then sticks its nose down and starts sniffing furiously at Inumon's face.
He's sniffing back. 'Cause
Yeah, dog time!
Two good boys. Can I get any other kinds of readings since I'm this close, or is it just not useful to attempt anything?
Overall readings, you can pick up that this a Digimon this small and the amount of data signature behind it, it's definitely a rookie class Digimon, so not hugely dangerous even if it was aggressive, though it definitely doesn't seem aggressive.
Okay. Zen like kind of switches modes on her equipment and like just plays a little happy tune for the.
I'll be right back. I've got to grab dinner, but
It's not like loud or like speakers or anything, but I think that's probably how, like, if she doesn't want to talk, that's how she just maybe communicates mood.
All right. Well, as the happy little tune comes out, Doraemon bounces up and down in snow again. Its tail just poof, 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 back and forth. Starts trying to circle around Zen to figure out the music, and then it spots Stella behind her. Just immediately.
Yeah, so Stella. Yeah, so Stella's being pretty cautious, but this guy kind of just seems like a little kid, just the way he's acting. So she's kind of like, she kind of seems more chill about it now. She's gonna like, "Hey, bud, how's it going? I'm a human. Yeah, pretty cool."
It like turns and looks back at Shoko and Eleanor again, and it's like, again, trying to do the math meme as it's like.
Bergamon holds out one of the. He's like now making digi pork buns, and he holds one out for this Digimon as
It's
like a
very much the snap, jaws open, close, munches on it.
And now we're friends. Wonderful. And then he scoots back behind Stella again. This lineup.
Good job. Stella kind of like pats Bergamon on the head, like, "Good job, dude."
He's happy. He's very happy.
He's kind of like, yeah, we're cool. We're just looking around, checking the place out. Man, those tremors are pretty weird, huh?
It hears what you're saying, but also like doesn't know what to say at all about it. So it's just kind of like shakes its head a little as if it's got nothing to say.
Yeah. Do you know any like cool spots we should check out?
I'm going to the sanctuary. You can go to the sanctuary.
Oh my god, there was a sanctuary in the last one
Cool.
too, wasn't there?
Maybe.
Yeah, let's sanctuary. Clive pipes up. What's the sanctuary?
It's the Frostwind Sanctuary. That's where we go to sleep.
Oh,
It's going to get colder and colder real soon, so I'm going to sleep until it's not cold anymore. Not as cold.
Eleanor bursts out of nowhere. Oh, if it's warm there, we should all take a quick rest. It's important to keep rested, everyone.
Alright, I'm back.
Can you show us the way? We're new around here.
It nods its head, bounces around a bit. Like, it runs some circles around you guys with about as much energy as Galmon has at all times. And it just takes off, plodding through the snow. It's very light on its feet, despite the fact that the snow is solid, slippery a lot, but it just pulls ahead of you guys really easily as it just takes off, heading to the northish.
Galmon's gonna chase after it. Like a
Oh
dog
my
after it.
goodness, that one's quite fast.
Let's go!
Eleanor is not sure she can keep up.
Let's see how well Galmon does.
Yeah.
Do a, I guess it'd be a CPU check, so 3d6 plus 1 for just Galmon
Alright.
keeping up with this thing. Wow, 544.
Yeah.
It still pulls ahead, but Galmon's like running at full speed, but also not slipping as well. So Galmon's doing well keeping their footing.
Excellent.
Derek's like, shit, because he kind of needs a Digimon around for safety. So he's going to start following after Galmon.
Poor guy. Jamon's just got so much energy.
All right. You guys, as a group, heading to the north, unless anyone's got anything they want to say or do before taking off in that direction?
I just realized that I had totally forgotten, like you mentioned earlier, but I had forgotten at the beginning of this that I had given Inumon Digger, so he's just like kind of making a trail.
There you go.
Admittedly, it's more like a luge trail than anything else, but
Yeah, Zen's following behind to make it a little easier this time for her to walk, but also, yeah, just like for lore, I guess, is cataloging everything.
Anyone's probably not the fastest going through the snow, so your guys aren't going quick, and Dormon pulls ahead really easily without looking back because it is not used to other people at all. But it's pretty flat plains as well, so you have a fairly solid direction for where you guys are going. And even as the distance stretches out, you're confident you're going in that direction.
Inumon's not very fast, but thanks to Digger, he's not actually slowed down by the snow. It's just he has stubby legs, so this is about as fast as to be going anywhere else.
As you guys are heading on further and further north, there's still Digimon sightings around. Not specifically any heading close to you, but you do still see herds of Digimon and even some crossing over the mountains. And there's a loudish howl as you're getting maybe 3/4 of the way from where you started to where the mountain is, as away from a pack of large moose-like Digimon to start running outwards, and then a large, probably above person size, furry dragon-like Digimon, kind of like Doremon but bigger and with wings, has burst through the pack and it's chasing those two. And a third one of the mooses chases after it as well. And they're all veering right in your direction as two of the mooses are chased by one of the dragons, chased by one more of the mooses. So let me get those over here so you can see. So first of all, these moose things are pretty large. They, moose on their own, pretty big. These things, pretty sizable as well. Like, they're taller than any of you guys, just up to, like, their neck.
Ooh.
That's a big one.
Furry dragon, the Doraemon's far ahead of this whereby you guys go. The Doraemon chasing after is smaller than all of them. It's about person size. Not Doraemon, but Doraemon-like Digimon. And it's large. It's large, about as large as you guys are and chasing after. It's smaller than these things, but it's still pursuing these ones. So two of these. And one more is chasing behind it, but this guy is faster and it's starting to pull ahead on this pack. And that's just happening pretty much on a collision course with where you guys are right now.
Oh dear.
Derek, who is chasing after Galmon, like literally, like almost cartoon level, like screeching stop and stops heading in that direction.
Oh, boy. Galmon's just like, oh, these guys look strong.
Bakuman, this could get dicey for me. I'm not particularly fast.
It's fine. Let's stop for a minute.
Okay.
So we...
What are you guys trying to do?
Eleanor is suddenly quite a... Well, Bakuman, do you think... Don't know if talking to them is going to work out. They're approaching quite quickly.
What do you want to do? We just gonna run?
Well, how would we stop them? Should we just go over there? Maybe they're friendly.
I kind of don't think they're friendly. No, just a hunch.
Well, we can't judge based on appearances.
Oh my god.
Everyone's
Bakuman
got a
just
story,
groans.
Bakuman.
The direction of them is still fairly collision course with you guys. You probably need to pull back pretty quickly as they are closing in right away.
Derek is already trying to like sneak past Eleanor because he's going with that run plan that was brought up a second ago.
Bakuman,
All right.
remember what I said just a moment ago? I take it back. Could I have some assistance, please, sweetheart?
Let's do some dodge checks. All 5 of you roll dodge.
Oh boy.
That's agility plus dodge.
Yep,
For humans and Digimon?
just the humans.
Okie dokie.
Uh-oh.
3d6
My dodge is
plus agility plus dodge.
Oh, shit.
Oh!
Grandma's got skills.
Damn, Grandma.
We're all pretty light on our feet here.
Are any of you adding aspects to this?
Oh wait,
Nope.
I can add an aspect to this. Add 4 to mine. I'm doing my major aspect.
All right, that's your one use of a major aspect per narrative day, so just keep that in mind.
Listen, I have an aspect that's literally like good at running away from shit. This is the perfect time to use it.
Absolutely. And that means those of you who got 20 or above were successfully able to either get forward or get back before the Digimon ran through. Those less, not specifically hit, but caught up in this. The mooses run by each of you, so Derek managed to break forward.
Oh, that way.
Yeah, forward. Well, they're going to be like more back
Oh, okay.
between
Yeah.
you guys here. Galmon has also been running forward and is probably still ahead of the pack. Derek broke forward. Chioko
She would have gone forward.
and you think Chioko went forward?
Yeah.
Okay. So Chioko went forward, and that was with Salamon,
Yes, with Clive.
Clive. Eleanor and Stella caught Zen behind.
Yeah.
Okay, Inumon. Where's Inumon at in this?
I mean, let's see. I get like Elon was kind of at the front of the group, so
Yeah, but if you guys were dodging forward, I
That's
think
true.
you'd pull ahead of Inumon. I think Inumon dealt with this just by digging in.
that's a thing he can do.
Yeah. As the first of the two mooses charge by, they throw up snow, and you guys specifically are forced to jump out of the way, but it's not as great as the others, and you're caught up in the middle of them. As these two kind of whirl around and point their horns forward, back this way, and the smaller dragon takes a step just like right behind you, growling, fangs bared, not specifically looking at you, but looking over you at them, as this other one pulls up right behind it and lowers its horns as well. And
Uh-oh.
you guys are going to be caught right in the middle of this next time we play.
That's fine.
Oh boy, I'm so excited.
Between a moose and 2 other moose. That's how the saying goes, right?
Yep.
Absolutely.
Exactly
how it
how
goes.
it goes.
Yeah. This is fun. I love everybody's characters.
Me
It
too.
really
Oh,
is.
Eleanor is so great.
I'm
glad you
so
like
happy
her.
about Grandma.
Eleanor. I just see her on a scooter. Like, I've been seeing her on a scooter this whole time.
And like,
She's
I
just
know
kneeling.
she doesn't have the scooter, but I wish she had the scooter.
Maybe I'll draw her with it for funsies.
Okay, I'm gonna end the recording now. I assume we're good.
Yep.
Okay.